Thanks for your time, we appreciate it. So we're seeing police going around this area in Diepsloot looking for undocumented foreigners and detaining them. How do you feel about what's happening?
Thank you so much, Shahan. I think we need to now really send a very strong message to the South African Police Service as the African community at large, the diaspora in South Africa. What they are doing is in no way lawful, because amidst the people that they've arrested there is migrants with documents who are legal in this country, but they're only basically just arrested because they are migrants on the streets. Now, to be honest with you, nobody walks around with all their documents at hand because there's a risk of them getting lost. But what police are constantly doing is very brutal towards migrants in this country. And they're the main entity within government that makes it more painful and difficult for migrants to live in South Africa, whether legal or illegal. Because I need to personally understand, how do they see a legal migrant? Are they trained in seeing documents? Because they are not trained in migration law. They're trained in criminal law. How do they? I've went to police stations time without number to assist migrants that have been unlawfully arrested, but they are legal migrants. What they're doing is very unacceptable, and the diaspora really needs to now take
will argue that they're
stance.
Simply carrying out an instruction. They would argue they're simply carrying out an instruction because we had the Home Affairs Minister here last week even telling residents to find him the undocumented residents, as well as the Police Minister just telling them to do the same. So how are you going to tell government that what they're doing is wrong?
I'm going back to this now again. How do they know at face value? How do they know the difference between a documented and an undocumented migrant? At face value, because they are arresting people off the streets. If that is an instruction that they're carrying from the minister, then we need to then sit down and they need to illustrate it to us as the diaspora community. That is there a formula, or is there a way? Is there a stamp that they put on a migrant's face that tells at face value that this one is documented and this one is undocumented? Because I'll tell you right now, at our end as the diaspora, we are receiving calls and cries from people that are in Diepsloot. Some are saying that I'm arrested. I have my documents in the shop. I now left my business vulnerable. Businesses of foreigners are being looted right now. That is putting them at financial misfortune. How are we doing this? What is the procedure?
Yeah, it is shocking, isn't it? So what are you going to do as an organization that's getting information about how people are being treated then? What are you going to do to help them?
What we have arranged right now, as I was speaking with Rebecca from one of the organizations that are assisting migrants, what we're now going to do is to sit as the whole diaspora. Now, if you remember, the African Diaspora Union is an organization that umbrellas many diaspora organizations, and we work very close with them. So we need to make a collaborative effort where we will sit down with government. We are going to contact the minister ASAP, because this cannot go on. And we have also been liaising with the lawyers for human rights, which we have just shortly spoken to, because this is no way constitutional.
So have you reached out to the Police Minister and Home Affairs Minister, who were here last week, giving police and community members this instruction to find undocumented foreign nationals?
Means don't justify the end, sir. What the Department of Home Affairs with the police is trying to achieve is what is not known to us as a diaspora community. And that's what we want to find out. But if they are saying what they are trying to do is to get rid of illegal migrants in the streets of South Africa, then they need to do that properly. They need to be arresting illegal migrants. We have no objection towards that. We are law-abiding community. We do understand that any person that is unlawful in a country needs to then be taken back to their country or apply for their documents. But we have a challenge here, first of all. I will tell you for a fact that majority of these so-called illegal migrants are people who have applications within the Department of Home Affairs, who promises them a 90-day turnaround, but yet finalizes those documents in 3 years. I have migrants who have documents on the system that have had their permanent residency revoked, just like that. No explanation from the Department of Home Affairs. Home Affairs itself needs to set their table straight, because they are the bigger contributor to the problem of illegal migrants. Because now you will say somebody is illegal when they have all the documents and application and no reason to decline an application of a person. Secondly, there is a constitution in this country that says South Africa belongs to all those who live in it. So if the state accepts a person from the border, grants them an asylum or a refugee status permit, that person shares the full constitutional rights with any other citizen of South Africa, because now South Africa is a country that belongs to all those who live in it. Then why is it that migrants in this country get maltreated? Why are they at the receiving end of the anger of communities in South Africa? Government needs to do something, because I will tell you right now, countries like Germany, who are the second receptors of migrants in the whole world, do not have issues. Their illegal migrant issues are very minimal, the lowest, but they are taking a high number of migrants after the United States of America. Then surely there is something that South African government is not regulating correctly, that is making them to be susceptible to so many illegal migrants that are in this country.
All right, thank you so much for your time and your insight. We do appreciate it. That was Batini Zaza Gebash. She's, of course, from the Africa Diaspora Union.